This is going to be a really weird experience in Strathel Main Gate as a protection warrior. So yes, I already had a tank perspective for this dungeon, but the particular dungeon I'm running has nothing to do with what I'm showing here. I noticed a level 60 monk in here. Same server name as one of my not-level 60s, so I assumed this was party sync, and I was right. This is actually a level 120 Mistweaver, along with his Fury Warrior buddy. Keep a close eye on this orc right here, with the edgy name. Also got a Tauren disguised as a gnome, as an elemental shaman. I think that's elemental. And somebody else. Who's the other one? Something. So anyway, this place. Often a lot of damage going on, kind of a messy place. I figured Warrior would handle it reasonably okay. Alright, Orc, yeah, he's just running into that group. Okay, here he goes. Now he heroic leaped over there. Alright, the weirdness hasn't quite started in earnest yet. These two characters who are together are trying to do something, so there goes that orc. Charges at the patchwork horror. I see him do it, he goes off and dies. At this point I'm like, ha, why'd you do that? You just got yourself killed. So he dies. All the threat goes away because he was the only one in the combat list there. There must be a frost mage because I saw Blizzard going off there. That was weird. Okay. No, that's arcane. Do arcane mages get access to... What was that? Huh. Anyway, Orc releases spirits and comes back to us. I'm like, better keep an eye on this. That was really unusual to have somebody charge forward like that. And especially I did not want the patchwork horror alongside this entire group, alongside the one I was already fighting. So, okay, maybe he just doesn't know what he's doing. That's fine. Just keep an eye on it. Do what I normally do. He's running off over there and picking up that group. So I'm thinking, okay, well, he's getting himself killed again. There he goes. Alright, fine. You want to go off and die? Maybe you can learn not to run off and do that. Earth Elemental is here. Shaman's trying to keep control of the situation because the group we're fighting did get a little bigger now. I can handle this, it's fine. I'll pick them up. I'm a durable warrior, not too much to worry about here. So I had the idea right now that, okay, maybe this is just somebody who wants to run the dungeon really fast and pull in a bunch of extra stuff, and you know, one of these players who's just not satisfied with a normal orderly pace and wants to go faster. I have ways of dealing with that. I don't like it, but I can probably do it. Gonna pull this patchwork horror over here. Not super far away yet, just right there. Alright. So I really want to fight him on his own. I've seen what he does. Let's watch what he does to a warrior. Checking my health bar here. Certainly not seeing it drop by half. So I think whatever mechanic he has that makes druids and brewmasters experience that just doesn't really go off on a warrior. Somehow they just have better defenses against it. Things have calmed down. Back to normal dungeon, right? Interrupt that to bring it into the group. Everything's fine. I am starting to wonder, so I saw that these two players are together, so the party synced Mistweaver Monk is clearly friends with the Orc Warrior who is here, is doing weird things. I think that was just a patrol that found us. Normal stuff. So yeah, you know, I'm kind of on high alert here, like, something is weird about this situation. Still just doing my thing, though. I'm assuming that coming into here, somebody's gonna mess with the post box or, like, get the tobacco man before I get a chance to do it. Everybody stays with the group, though. Looks fine. A lot of these human-shaped enemies in here, I think they're ghosts. They dodge my attacks a lot. It's really annoying. There's a dodge. There's a dodge. When that happens, it doesn't land, and it kind of like butts up my rhythm, just because like I'm expecting, you know, things happen differently if an attack lands than when it doesn't. So I've learned to watch out for that in here because of all the ghosts you fight. Okay. Don't think I'm going to bother with the eastern route this time. Since I saw we had kind of a situation going on here, I was not going to try for Postmaster Malone. Not with somebody playing as weirdly as what I saw here. I did learn, like, just now, yeah, there's a post box right there, King Square post box. So that's more easily accessible than the one I was going all the way around the east to get. Because you only have to open 3 to get the Postmaster, and there are totally 3 on the way. You don't have to go to Festival Lane to get the third one, because there's one right there. Letting everybody get in range so we can all be together with the rats. Okay, so these are rats here in Main Gate. So it's insects in the service entrance then. They scattered. They were on that arcane mage, but then they left. And now they're back, because I hear them hitting people. Alright, so I can get this Patchwork Horror on his own. That's fine. Orc Warrior has other ideas. I'm going to let him go there and die. I'm deliberately pulling this away from where he is, so that happens. Now I do notice that the healer had decided to interact with him, so now they were on the healer, and therefore essentially in combat with me. Okay, if we wipe here, the fault is clear, you know. I'm kind of just letting these bars be yellow for a moment. It's like, Mistweaver sees, hey, it was your friend who did that. It's very clear, no ambiguity here. You can heal yourself, and he can. He's level 120, knows how to play his class. All the bars turned their normal color. All the threat came to me. It's fine. Warrior's back. I got to revere the Dark Spirituals, so I switched tabards. Alright, so just a short detour. Yeah, so this is the western route. Anikel took the eastern one. Western route just takes a short little detour up here to get the Unforgiven for the quest that's given at the start. And then you can ignore the rest of Festival Lane. Hearthsinger Forreston is in here somewhere. I'll check for his location in a moment. Sometimes he's over there just to my left, sometimes he's far away. I forget which was which, if this was a run where we killed him. I think this was not? So right, this could be the third post box if you were summoning the Postmaster. Okay. Keep that in mind for the future. Unforgiven, right here. You don't see him until you walk here. He just spawns in that spot, but the map tells you where to find him. Isn't there always also a Patchwork Horror who patrols this area? Alright, so checking for Hearthsinger Forreston. He's way the heck over there. middle of Festival Lane, I'm not going that far out of my way for him. So we're not going to kill him. Alright, so Warrior decided to taunt. I'll taunt back. I heard the roar. I saw the threat change. There's no question about what happened there. So he's found his taunt button. By the way, not a button you want to press under typical circumstances unless you are in the tank role. But every tank role capable character in every spec, I think, gets it. I can do it as a Mistweaver if I want. And the Monk Taunt is kind of cool because it increases the target's speed. So they'll run toward you faster. Moving this group away so that the Warrior can have his own threats in the group that he decided to go and get, but they were close enough and few enough that just didn't make sense. So, I've worked out at this point that he's doing this on purpose. He is playing disruptively, and something about that just like put me into this mode where like I have to counter everything this warrior does. I'm going to smooth out this situation and get this dungeon done despite his attempts to disrupt it. So this was my challenge to myself. Also not going to say a single word about it. Speaking to someone who is deliberately being uncooperative is not something I have ever seen have positive results. The best way to salvage this situation by my judgment was to be absolutely silent and not acknowledge the trouble he's trying to cause, and just do whatever I can to prevent it and deny him any satisfaction from trying to make mischief. So that is my mission for the rest of the dungeon. I don't think he used any taunts there on Timmy the Cruel. So, annoyingly, this is a spot where he's going to have lots of chance for mischief, because, like, this is a place that's, little iffy, even with cooperative players. Naturally, he runs right in to make the trouble for himself. I'm going to try and stay far away so he can get himself into trouble, but again, healer interacted with him, making it my problem. And healer died, making it everyone's problem. Alright, so there's our first wipe. No question how it happened, everybody saw it. So we all walk back, not one single word spoken. The Arcane Mage was still alive for a little while. Killed a couple of more things. I saw an experience pop up above my player. Alright, so let's do that again and see what happens. Okay, everybody's back here. I see the Tauren made it first. He's a shaman. He has reincarnation, so I think he just used that for that. Doing some weird things with Soothing Mist there. Alright. I saw the mage was close enough, so we can resume this. Let's see how it goes this time. Okay, he didn't run out into the middle of those again. Acting like he's gonna be cooperative now. What do you suppose is going on here? Like, what is happening at the other end of this internet connection? Are these two sitting in the same room and like having a laugh together? Is this just like what they do for fun? Don't expect satisfactory answers to those questions. It'd be nice to know. We're not really going to get to know. I'm trying not to go in here because that happens. I don't know how to handle this room better than this. I found a way when I brought my Brewmaster here. Weirdly enough, you know, this place, super nasty for monks and druids, went like buttery smooth on my Brewmaster. Everybody had a great time. No problems at all. People got complimented on their performance. It was nice. That happened immediately after this run. Anything would look nice after this, but I don't know. That was an exceptionally nice run. So I was happy that happened right after. It was exactly what I needed after this. But here I have a mission. I am denying a troll his satisfaction. Not the troll that is the troll warrior that's playing this. The troll that is the orc warrior. Making his mischief. By the way, my warrior does have some more buttons than last time I played him. Not going to focus on that now, because that's not what this is about. Next time I show him in a dungeon that goes normally, we can talk about those. I still do like being a warrior tank a whole lot. Not completely sure I'd still say it's my favorite tank. Like, pretty much all of them are more or less equal in my eyes these days. Just like the healers, they all feel pretty good. Some have some weird little dead zones where they're missing part of their toolkit, but once they get all of it, they're all pretty good. Did somebody find some trouble out there? Yeah, okay, there was one extra dude. Alright, so one way to make sure he doesn't Earth Shield. Interesting. So a non-restoration shaman can do that. I didn't know that. Okay. Like another party member. I thought it was a self-only thing. Oh, this is an enhancement shaman. Okay. Thought he was elemental. So at any point here, I'm expecting to see a certain warrior run ahead and grab some more of these dudes. Angling my camera there, because I'm watching for it. He's getting Frost Nova'd, so he doesn't have the chance, I guess. Worrying a lot less about yellow nameplates than I usually would, just because I have somebody else using their taunt ability. So at some point in here, he just decides to do that as much as he can. Just always use taunt there. That was it. Yep, he used a taunt on that target. I can see which one it is and pull it right back, because my taunt has the same cooldown as his. Even if we weren't both warriors, that would still be true. Disarm isn't the most annoying thing as a warrior. I can still do a lot of my abilities, just not Revenge. I think even Devastate still works? Yeah, Devastate still works. I can Thunderclap, I can Shield Bash. Yeah, he taunted. I taunted back. Whatever, dude. If you're trying to disrupt, that's not the way to do it. Not that I want to give you tips. It's going to be extra obvious on any single target fight here, so I am ready to hit my zero key at a moment's notice. Why did he heroic leap back there? I guess he was trying to pull Commander Malor away from me or something? I don't know. Nope. My targets. We're having a shouting match. A very, very quiet shouting match. I knew as soon as the stun went off he was going to do it. My finger was on the key. Sometimes my character roars for a different reason when I'm using Ignore Pain. One of the abilities I haven't talked about. Like, that part's not even annoying. I mean, we can taunt ping pong. It's fine. It's, you know, it's one extra button I have to press every few seconds. Gonna pull those before he gets a chance. The thing that's weird to me is throughout this entire thing, his healer buddy is just totally doing his job, being a perfectly functional Mistweaver here. But it will become later that, I mean, they're very much working together. It's just that, like, the healer is not participating in the mischief. He's enabling it, but not, like, being an antagonist like the warrior is. Yep, there goes his taunt. When I have to target switch, sure, it'll take me a moment to get it back, but whatever. He's not really doing anything. It's not like dragging it away from the group after he taunts or anything. He's just pressing his button. Now he just stands there and does nothing. Okay. That's better than what you've been doing. That time I pulled threat off of him without even having to taunt. Because protection warriors are just real good at generating threats. Just give me a moment focusing on a target and I will have threat on it. And that's just how it works. Just that one thunderclap while they were running off, and they're stuck to me as long as I keep doing things. So yeah, relative to other stuff that was going on, you know, pretty peaceful little run here. I was kind of hoping that polymorph would target the warrior, but no, it decided to go for the enhanced shaman instead. Alright, Willy Hopebreaker. Not really a lot of potential for mischief here. Let's see, he could have maybe picked up all the... I shouldn't give him suggestions, but you know, could have maybe picked up all the cannonballs to eliminate them as a possibility for firing at the dudes. I don't see anyone else doing it. I'm like evaluating how many cannonballs there are and deciding, okay, well, I can do that. Sure. There's an Earth Elemental taking up all the attention. So I don't even have to taunt off the warrior. Earth Elemental's doing it for me. It's not ideal for the tank to be handling the cannon job. I feel like that's a healer thing. But I can do it if I have to there. Because yeah, healer's the one who's going to have the downtime to be able to go and pick those up and use them. Other damage dealers could do it too. But I can do it as a tank if I need to. Risen Hammersmith's corpse is still there. Oh, so are those. Okay, they just didn't disappear that quickly. I'm used to this dance now. I know how to do it. Alright, here comes a particular spot. I think around this next corner. There he goes. He's looking for trouble. He found some. Trying to move away to see if I can get it to kill him. But the healer's interacting with him, so that's not going to work this time. Alright. We got Bloodlust, just in case, I guess. If it happens to be necessary. So it'll move on after this quickly, so as not to waste it. But I always want to move on quickly. Go at a steady, brisk pace. He's looking ahead. There he goes. You have fun with that. I'm going to go over this way. So yes, I am actively trying to get him killed at this point. Just as he's doing to me. Healer's not trying to keep me alive at this point. I may have run out of his line of sight. I couldn't quite tell where he was during that. But, you know, he was focusing his attention on his disruptive friend here. So I watch. Alright, healer died. I was kind of hoping that would happen, since he's obviously participating in this. Alright, so yeah, unfortunately this dungeon doesn't have any checkpoints or anything, so if you die that deep into it, you're just going to have to do the long run all the way back. Something happens along that run, though. It's not that long. I have an Extremis. Okay, sure. Gotta kill that. Got this shaman with me. He's unfortunately in there with the rats. I'm out here with the other rats. So yeah, the rat gate does refill itself. That spinning crane kick's not gonna reach through that gate in there. Okay, out of combat, all rats gone. So when does the thing happen? Something happens on this walk back. Also definitely leaving this in just to emphasize, you know, how long this walk is. It's not like super long, but it's long enough to be annoying. So everyone saw clearly what happened there. Warrior ran ahead, decided to get a bunch more dudes. Here we go. A vote has been initiated to remove this player from the group. I was ready to click yes the instant that popped up. I wasn't going to initiate a vote kick. I have my reasons for this. All right, and it goes through. Let's find another player. So now my main source of curiosity is what the healer's reaction is going to be. I'm going to wait here for the other player to come in because they were together. He saw that window pop up, so he knew the warrior was trying to get kicked out. What happened? Says the mage. Now that's weird. Okay, maybe he didn't have as good a read on the situation as I thought. Shaman saw what was going on and initiated the kick. The healer asks, how did it pass? What a mystery. How many voted yes? He wants to know. So this shaman has outed himself as the one who initiated the vote kick. Something I wouldn't have advised, but, I mean, it was long overdue, of course. All right, cool, we got somebody new. It's a balanced druid. So what I'm wondering here is this Mistweaver going to do his job now? What he decides to do is initiate a kick on the shaman. I click no, obviously. Everyone should click no. And yet somehow, bafflingly, other people clicked yes on this. So we had a little bit of justice followed by a little bit of injustice here. Retaliation went out for the person who initiated the kick. This mage who apparently doesn't know what's going on, and the balanced druid who just came in and hadn't seen the situation, probably clicked yes there. It's unclear to me how many need to click yes. My no was not enough to prevent the removal of the shaman from the group. I think the more correct action there would be, as soon as the orc was gone, to immediately initiate a kick on the healer, especially as soon as the healer revealed that he had some kind of an indignation at his friend being removed from the group. You know, with perfect hindsight and enough time to think about this and decide the right thing to do, that would have been what I would have done. In the moment, that wasn't what I decided to do. So yeah, what a weird situation. And so strangely enough, the answer to my question is Mistweaver stays and just keeps healing. I guess he's satisfied at having kicked the shaman, even though he has to know the... Well, no, I say he has to know the answer to the question of, like, why was his friend kicked? But he asked as if he didn't know. So I don't know. He doesn't seem to understand the vote to kick system, and maybe nobody does. Maybe he, I don't know, chose that one party member as the target of his frustrations, even though it can be surmised that the other two of us clicked yes. He obviously clicked no. And yeah, we have a mage who's just happy to click yes on everything, it seems. That's my read on that situation. He's just like, oh, something in my face, get it out, and let's click yes. Anyway, so, right, again, bafflingly enough. Yeah, so I guess Mistweaver's satisfied with having gotten one person kicked from the dungeon. That's the amount of mischief he wanted to perform here. His friend is gone, off somewhere in the world, not in this dungeon with us. I'm still not saying a single word about this. I'm just controlling the chaos as best I can, dragging these uncooperative people through the dungeon, and getting it done. And yet, Healer does a fine job. He did still land on my ignore list, as did the orc, obviously. Ignore list in this game is, like, really poor. It's not account-wide on either side. So, like, only this particular Protection Warrior ignores only that particular Fury Warrior and that particular Mistweaver Monk. none of their other characters on their account, and none of my other characters on my account are ignoring those. So, like, what I want is, I, a human, want to ignore that player, a human. Not like I, Jarzak the Troll Warrior, want to ignore Orc, whose name I'm not going to say, the Orc Warrior. And, no one else, the human who pilots him, also pilots. It's kind of a mess. But that's how it's implemented. Ignore means I would never be placed into a random dungeon group with him again, which is already extremely unlikely, so it's basically pointless, but just to make sure. Now, let's see, thinking possible situations here. What if the vote to kick the shaman had failed? I wonder what the Mistweaver's reaction would have been then. This entire time he was just doing his job, but that might have brought out some worse behavior in him. After this dungeon, oh yeah, I went out of here instantly. Like, the moment the quests are turned in, I'm gone. Everybody go away. Anyway, right after this, I had a short little conversation with that shaman, just to make sure he knew that I saw the situation, and just kind of to get his take on it. He was pretty relaxed about it. He's just like, yeah, okay, I saw what was happening. I'm not too broken up about it. It's fine. We were both glad the warrior got kicked at least. And, yeah, anyway, so that sure was a situation. Hope you enjoyed it, I guess. This is why I always record, even if I'm doing a dungeon that I've already, put up that dungeon, that role. Because sometimes stuff like this happens. See you next time.